got a promotion going on right now.
It's a
where you
space
can get
thing.
the iPhone 17 for free just by trading that bitch in. Just do it. Just get the 17 Pro. You got the best phone in the can.
Free?
Yeah, it's $1,100 trade-in. But you can get the Pro. You can get the Pro would be free for you because the 17 Pro Max is $1,300. They'll give you $1,100 for that phone traded in.
Pay off for 200.
Or you can just finance the 200, the 200, and the 200 is going to be over what? 24 months? You got 24 months or 36-month lease in yours? That's my old account.
Good question. But 200, I just pay it.
Yeah. Or you can pay it in full, and then your phone's paid off. But then you got the brand new, heavy duty, best camera in the world, everything, and then we ain't gonna be having this. Go on.
Shalom.
Shalom.
We are the Hebrew Israelites coming out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, spiritual Egypt, and modern day Babylon. I can tell you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are not niggas, spicks, and wetbacks, but God's chosen people of the Bible, the apple of the Lord's eye, all right, of that legendary bloodline, all right. Also to tell you who the wicked is, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, the red man that the Bible speaks of, all right. Our number one enemy. First and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Baharakash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the GMS, who teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this gospel amongst the four winds with truth and sincerity. You say shalom.
Shalom.
All right.
So it's probably gonna be a quick camp. We just want to get into the narrative of the world right now, and I'm pretty sure brothers is on their watch. There's a couple Israelite brothers I see talking about the same, the Charlie Kirk situation, World War III on the rising, Russia flying over Poland, Israel bombing Qatar, Doha. There's a lot of things and a lot of narratives out here, but we come to teach this truth and to basically bring you the news, man, as through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. But go ahead. We're going to start off with Jeremiah 28 and 8, and we're going to get it.
This is Jeremiah 28 and 8. Says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
All right. I don't really need a breakdown, man. We just coming in the footsteps of the great men that were before us, man. Our forefathers, and Lord willing, we were actually a part of that number. But to get into it, I want to first bring up the narrative of the Charlie Kirk situation. Right. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody's been seeing all this stuff going out, right, for the past couple of days now, right? But I want brothers and sisters to open their spiritual eye and look at everything plain upon tables and understand what's really going on. The Charlie Kirk assassination was a psyop by the Zionists, right, to push a narrative. And that narrative is like a triple line or quadruple entendre. It's a couple of different things that they're accomplishing by killing him. Now, mind you, there's a video. I'll start with this first video. There's a video out. One was an AI video, or it was a video that showed that he wasn't really shot, or something wasn't happening, because you could see that from different frames of the camera, you see that his the ring on his finger goes from here to here. He has a dot on his neck and then no dot, right? AI is crazy, right? That could be very well true. It could have been all AI and doctored up. And then you would say, oh, well, hundreds and thousands of people seen him die. Well, no, people heard the gunshot, they see him fall over, and people scatter like roaches. That's one thing, right? Then there's another video that's circulating all throughout social media right now of, and this is why I believe that it was a government Zionist hit. And the reason why I say Zionist, because we know Amalek is running the show. America is no longer a country. It has already been conquered by Israel. That's why the Israeli flag can fly below or above the American flag. America has been conquered. You people are just so dumbed down that you don't even notice it, right? So there's a video that it shows Charlie Kirk's security team basically doing military signals, and the military signals were like, sniper get ready. It was like sniper get ready, hold, look, and watch, and then commence or take the shot. And then right after you see the guy behind him put his hand out, the shot rings out and Charlie Kirk is put down, right? Now, I'm only giving this narrative right now to give you an understanding of two different scenarios here, right? But then I'm going to expound on it as we get into other topics, and then we're going to bring out scriptures to kind of back this stuff up. Now, mind you, this is all a psyop by the so-called white man. mainly the chief house of Esau, which is Amalek, the Ashkenazis, the fake Jews, the Zionists, those who actually don't believe in God, they believe in the Talmud, the synagogue of Satan. They are literally pulling strings and moving things around because they know they have but a short time. They know that their narrative has to be pushed a certain way because of what's going on in the world. Now, mind you, let's peel back the layers of the onion. Why would they do this? Why? They want world domination. They want the new world order. Okay, you got to understand this. But as of late, for the past couple of weeks, the entire world has been getting on who? Amalek. All you've been seeing is hate campaigns towards Amalek, hate campaigns towards Israel, protests, mind you, protests in almost every country. Stuff that they're not even showing on TV. You got to kind of go down the rabbit hole. All throughout France, Europe. I'm talking protests that are breaking out so far and wide in these countries that there's graffiti, trash, fires, and all types of things going on, right? The Charlie Kirk death was a psyop to get you to stop looking over here at World War III into what? Better divide and conquer in America. Now, why do I say divide and conquer in America? What other narrative has been on the news constantly for the past couple of weeks? The so-called black people of America. And what is the narrative that they're speaking? That we are what? The reason for the downfall of America. We're the reason for the jobs, the crime, DI rollbacks, and all types of narratives. And mind you, and Charlie Kirk was a known, I would say, a known racist, and he would say slanderous things about black people throughout his campaigns, which empowered what? The right wing, or what you would say Esau, right? What the Israelis did, or the Zionists, those who were the puppet masters at the time. Now we know Yahweh Shemel Shah is the highest puppet master. I'm not going to sit here and say that.
Control the kings.
But we got to understand that everybody in the world has been protesting Israel, basically talking about Israel and how Israel is the cancer of the world, and the narrative is all over the place. But if you go back and remember, about a year ago, it was a female Israeli cabinet member. I forgot exactly who she was, but she had an emergency meeting with the Israeli cabinet. And what did she say? She said the biggest threat to Israel was the young African American population in America. A people that doesn't have an army and has been oppressed since its inception. How are we the biggest threat? Now, mind you, you Israelites know why we're the biggest threat. So now I'm giving you that information. Let's get back to the Charlie Kirk situation. Charlie Kirk was a really big bigot, and he advocated for white power, make America great, or keep America great. So he was all for DEI rollbacks. He would say about the DEI rollbacks, he would say that black women are inferior to white women, and that the black women are taking white women's jobs. That's some of the things he would say. That's why DEI should have been rolled back. He talked about ICE and illegal immigrants, and he advocated that, oh well, if they wanted to come into this country legally, they should have went through the proper channels, knowing that it's very hard for these people to make it to this land, right? But remember, privilege is invisible to those that have it. So Charlie Kirk had pushed a big narrative that separated white versus black. Now we already know that the Lord is the author of division. So we know the Lord is controlling all these things and controls the hearts of the kings, like the brother brought out. But I'm trying to give you all the big picture. So I'm kind of putting things in place on the board, and then we're going to bring it full circle. By killing Charlie Kirk, what was after Charlie Kirk died, what was the first thing that happened? 4 or 5 HBCU colleges went on high alert for bomb threats because the far right-wing white boy is so pissed off that he was killed that they're not seeing it. They know it was a so-called white man that killed him. So-called white man. It was 2 people. One old man who basically said he admitted that he did it, and then now on the news is this young guy with glasses, and they're trying to scapegoat. We understand that neither of them killed him. We know it was a sniper controlled by the government, FBI, or CIA. More than likely got that man killed for a bigger purpose. But the narrative on the news for the past couple of weeks is black people are the reason for the plight and the downfall of America, which has enraged the so-called white man to start looking to where? In our direction. Now, who is controlling the media? Zionists. So they're now inflating the numbers. I'm talking false numbers. Like it was like 40-something% of all fatal crimes by guns towards white people is done by black people. And actually, if you go look at the studies, it's not. Right? They're inflating numbers to incite the so-called white man to what? To now look at the so-called black man as the enemy and the purpose and the direction of their anger, instead of looking at the Zionists that control everything. Because the narrative all over the world has been, they're the puppet masters, and everybody's starting to realize it. They own all the banks, they own all the businesses, they own all the militaries, the military spending, and they got America by the balls. Everyone knows that everything is running through them. Right?
Isaiah 47 and 3 or 2, it says, take the millstones and grind the mill, uncover the locks and make bare the leg, uncover the thigh and pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
So Amalek, or the Zionists, right, their shame has been basically shown to the world. Their genocide, their lack of love for the world. Remember, in the Talmud, they are allowed to treat everyone who they call Goyim as less than human. They are nothing but slaves and servants unto Israel, and this is what they believe. So their entire narrative is to take over and control the entire world. They've already taken over the great horde that flew upon the dragon, right? And we know this because of what? Israel, and I'm going to just give you some extra layers. Israel just bombed who? Doha, Qatar, right? Why? I'm gonna let you go look that up. But Israel just bombed them for supposedly no reason. Now, mind you, there's probably a reason behind it, but guess what? They're also still trying to destabilize what? The Middle East, because everything is like a domino effect. They're trying to get all their pieces in a row because they know they have but a short time.
Shalom, Moses.
Shalom, Moses. Shalom. So, World War III is on an uptick all over the world, and the media is hiding it from you Americans. Russia just flew over Poland, which is what? A United Nations country. They flew into their airspace, which basically is already an act of war. So now there's a council that has to happen where either they're going to come to an agreement or war is going to break out. Now, we already know if Poland goes to war, America has to have a direct war with what? China and Russia. But who's controlling all of this? Still the Zionists. Now I'm going to bring it back to so-called black people. They know, remember, they said that we are the main threat to Israel. Out of all these countries with military might, they said we were the main threat. So what they're doing is they're trying to get the heat off of themselves because their shame has been shown. And they're trying to put the heat back on so-called black people, you Israelites, because they're trying to kill two birds, one stone. They want to have gun reform. Why do they want to have gun reform? Because they know they cannot take over America without what? Implosion. Guns getting taken off the streets. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to incite race wars, which we already know is what? Biblical. Getting into what? Jacob's trouble. But we'll get there in a second. I'm just trying to connect the dots. My brain's been kind of...
Because you had spoke earlier before we opened up, Charleston White, he an agent.
Exactly.
He talking crazy about this kid.
So what they're doing is this. So here we are. So mind you, this is Amalek pulling strings right now. So they're trying to get the heat off of them for their war crimes in World War III about to start, and they're trying to put the heat back on the so-called black people. And what they're doing is they're using the natural hatred of Esau to help them in this war. And then what they're doing is a psyop. You ever notice that all these stars and people of power, like, I'm not saying people of power, but Charleston White, people who you would think were like activists, they got them openly disrespecting the boy Charlie Kirk. Basically, I don't give a fuck if that white boy died. And all it's been doing is inciting these right-wing freaking extremists to do what? Oh, you fuck niggers. Oh, we gotta get them. Now, all of a sudden, there's bomb threats at HBCUs. Everyone's on high alert for gun violence in the neighborhoods. And all these things are going on. They're telling us that the reason why America is on a decline is because of so-called black man, right? Everything, the money, everything. Remember, they're doing this on purpose. So Amalek, because he's trying to incite war in the Middle East and World War III so he can get to his new world order, because they believe in the Bible slightly. What I mean by that is, it is true in the Bible that all the other nations shall be servants unto Israel, the true Israel. But they also know that they're not the true Israel. So what they're trying to do is incite a war on purpose to then become, remember, the great phoenix. Everything is about a symbolism with them. Order out of chaos. They believed that they were going to, all these nations are going to come together, destroy themselves. The white man and the black man are going to come together, destroy themselves, and then they're going to be the great phoenix that rises from the ashes, and then they will basically put their form of the kingdom of heaven, which is the newer order on the planet. But I'm trying to get you to look at everything, right? Now, how do we also know that it's a psyop, the Charlie Kirk thing? If you go on Amazon, it might be taken down now. There was a book that was released on the 9th, the day before he died, and it was literally the book was called The Shooting of Charlie Kirk. The very next day he was shot. Then Amazon knew it made a mistake, so it changed the book to the 11th. How was there already a book out the day before he dies? It was already a psyop. It was already planned. I told you about there's videos of military men behind him giving signals for a sniper to basically kill him. Or it could have been all of a psyop where they, remember, AI for the networks, and then you got to think about the technology they have for blood splatter and special effects. They could have had a loud noise go off. Boom, he floats over. It looks like he dies because I showed you. Well, I didn't show you, but I told you about in the video. It shows a bullet hole and then no bullet hole. Then all of a sudden blood, and then his ring finger was here. Then his ring finger was on his pinky. There's different things that are going on, but I want our brothers and sisters to understand that this is all literally Esau's doing. Charlie Kirk, if he did die, was a blood sacrifice, completely, right? Because remember, they're all about the cabal. They're all about that yin and yang, that cosmic karma and ritualistic shit. How do we know this? Netanyahu and Trump both posted "Rest in Peace, Charlie Kirk" at the same exact time, and they both were on two sides of the earth. I know for a fact if you're over,
one should be delayed.
Yeah, you're delayed. It's a delay, but they both posted at the exact same time. How did they both know? Because it was a government psyop. There's other things I could talk about the plane on a private runway that went missing, and the CIA are like, how did this happen? And no one knows how it happened. We all know how it happened. Also, Charlie Kirk was doing what? He was exposing the Epstein files, and he was exposing the corruption and the blackmailing of the government. He spoke out about these things. This man was a complete scapegoat to do a couple of things. To dissuade you from looking at World War III, Poland, Qatar, and all the uprising going on and all the riots going on overseas. To also to stop you people to stop looking at the Zionists as being the culprits for everything and now fight internally again. So blacks and whites, I need y'all to be looking at each other. Then what they did was they used sellouts in our community who went on national TV and talking shit like, yeah, fuck that white boy Charlie Kirk. First of all, I don't care who died. We all know what disrespect is, whether we like it or not. Even though, you know, the Lord made vessels for honor, vessels for dishonor. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not true. But we all know when to keep our mouth shut. Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But they're openly disrespecting this man. And then you see white people are openly speaking out about black people in a very demonic and evil way, talking about killing them, bomb threats. And I'm talking about HBCUs are kids. These are kids. These are kids from 18, probably from 17 to like 24. These are kids. But they have bomb threats. Even though a so-called white man killed them, white people can't see past their own anger and their own aptitude for their racism. And what I mean by that is this. Charlie Kirk was a symbol for the far-right conservative MAGAs, Make America Great Again, or Make America, or Keep America Great. Whereas, as you got to look at the black community, the so-called black community is a liberal movement. The alphabet community, the trans community, and black people are all over here. So Charlie Kirk dying, even though it was a white man that killed him, they still thinking the opposition, the liberals are the reason why. So now Zionists got the so-called white man who was looking at them, because remember, it was a lot of Proud Boy white people talking about these fake Jews, like, man, we need to get out the country. Why are we letting them do this? Why are we flying their flags? Now they're like, man, fuck these niggers again. All of this is a psyop, and could be very well the inception of Jacob's trouble, because the pot is stirring. Remember, we talk about this all the time. Every time we talk about the doom and gloom of the earth, we always say that World War III, Jacob's trouble, the chip, and all these things could be all coming together in one little big manifest. We always thinking it's going to happen in gradualism and based off of one step at a time. It all can happen at one time, right? We're already talking about, if you've seen in the world news, the BRICS dollar is now live. Have you seen a dollar, what it look like? All the different flags rolled into one, and the currency actually looks pretty. We already know that symbolizes what? The death of the American dollar, which means the death of an empire. America is also coming up to the 250th year of its inception, which most empires what? End at the 250th year. So all of this is coming full circle. And I know that was a bit long breath. Hopefully I'm kind of like putting things.
It's a lot, brother. It is 2026, 250.
Yeah, 2026 will be the year that America has basically hit his life cycle, if you will, for empires.
Scripture say he set up kings and he put them down, man.
Yep.
Broke the power.
All right, so.
Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Amalek knows he has but a short time. Now, the reason why I'm saying Amalek and not just fully Esau is because Amalek doesn't even care about his own people. Amalek looks at Esau and the rest of the his tribes within his tribe as basically scapegoats, leftovers, and deplorables. So they don't care if they die as long as they get their empire. So those who have pledged allegiance to the Zionist movement, just like most of our politicians, most if not all of our politicians, Trump himself has pledged his allegiance. All those who don't want to get down must lay down. It's the same. What did that sound like? Yahweh Shai. What does Yahweh Shai say? He said, all those that don't want me to rule over them, bring them before me and slay them. It's the same narrative, but from the left-hand side. And I'm just trying to get you to see this from a spiritual, but a full circle lens here, right? Now, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. You can go and research this stuff yourself. I'm only a watchman trying to be on my watch and give the news as I see it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, right? But I can see the writing on the wall. They already saying that the biggest threat to Israel is the young African-American community. Why? What the fuck? We ain't got no guns and shit. We can't go over to Israel and bomb you. But why? Because they know the narrative, right? So Amalek knows he has but a short time, so he's going to come down on all the nations with great wrath, right? So he's trying to incite World War III. He's trying to implode America by having Edomites or the lower level Edomites fight the royalty of what? The lower level Edomites basically with the lower level Jake, because we know Jacob's trouble is what's going to come of this, and Jacob's trouble, remember, it's only for the wicked of our nation. So I'm giving perspective here. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna read Revelations 12, starting at 15 and down. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, which is the Israelites.
Yep.
That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Mm-hmm. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai.
So Amalek, or the great whore that flew upon the dragon, we know they're called the great harlot Babylon. Well, we know we're talking. Look, I'm going to narrow it down to Esau, Edom, but the chief house of Israel, chief house of Idumea, which is Amalek or Zionist Israel. They know they have but a short time, so they're going to try their best to make war with the remnant of who? Of the children of Israel, those who keep the law, statutes, and commandments, which will in turn be what? Jacob's trouble, because they're going to be trying to war. They don't know who's part of the elect, so they're going to be going after all of us, because they know that we are all the children of the Most High. You got to look at the narrative. They're trying to stop people from looking at World War III, stop people from looking at their nakedness and all their shame, and to push the energy and negativity back onto the people that need to be destroyed for their kingdom to be erected. Get it? They're trying to make war with us by using what? Their natural sword, which is Esau Edom. Isn't Esau Edom the sword of the Most High? Amalek, who's what? Wiser than Daniel, is knowing how to pull these strings. But we also know that Yahweh Shai is the ruler and governor of all this. He's the author of division. He's the one actually controlling the hearts of the kings. Amalek believes he's doing a good work for himself, but what he's doing is he's falling into a trap that the Lord is setting for him, because there's prophecy on what happens when he pushes Jacob's trouble. We already know that the slain of the Lord is going to be many, and that goes from our people and the rest of the world. Jacob's trouble, why it's called Jacob's trouble or Israel's trouble, is going to be a bad time for you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in America.
We're gonna be the weakest point.
We're going to be we have no gates. We don't have any natural protection. The law system is not meant for us. It's not meant to save us, protect us. Everything is against us, and the Lord is going to allow them to open up the floodgates of judgment to judge us. All those that do not want to bow to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And I got to make this very clear. It's coming. I know we talk about it year after year after year, but I remember damn near 8 years ago we talked about World War III. People looked at us and we was like fucking crazy. Now World War III here, every time we talk about it, people just go, oh shit, what they talk about now?
Yeah, you know what, too? If I may,
We're telling you Jacob's trouble's coming.
Yeah,
and they're trying to push that narrative. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no. Every year that we were in, it feels like it should be like, you know what I mean, like right around the corner, and then another year comes. But then another year comes, it also pushes even further. Like, oh, okay, like it's every year it increases that it might as well just be this one from the increase of World War III.
Explain it again.
So like every year we're in, it always feels like it could be tomorrow, it could be the next month, or it could be or 3 months from now, sometime in a short time frame, due to the circumstances of other things that's going on in the world. But then each year that go by and that it didn't happen, it's like more than what was last year,
because
it's doubled up again.
And the reason why you're right, but the reason why that is like that, because they have to have a narrative.
Right.
Esau has to be blameless in their cosmic karma, so they're going to create the narrative that this is the reason why y'all have to go do it. Mm-hmm. So they're going to use Esau, Edom, and probably the other nations that join hand with them to try to come after the children of Israel. Jacob's trouble is on the horizon. They're pushing this narrative that we are the reason for most of the crime, which is a lie. We are the reason for the most violent crimes, which is a lie. We are the reason why most white people are dying, which is a lie. We all know that these are lies, but these are narratives that these low-level white people absorb and believe like it's the Bible. They actually equated Charlie Kirk with Martin Luther King, even though he was a fucking sellout too. But they try to immortalize him as that, and we're talking about putting up a statue of him and saying he was trying to help and not. No, they've sacrificed that man for the greater purpose. Amalek knows he has but a short time. Not to mention, and I'm only going to bring this up, but think about it. Even the narrative how there's aliens on the way to Earth, and they're hostile and angry, and they look like black African Americans. Even that narrative, right. All it is to start having everybody look at who? Us.
Us, yeah. We look crazy right now.
We look crazy right now. Jake look crazy right now. We don't have a continuing army. We don't have a spokesperson that can go on national TV and be like, yo, man, leave us the hell alone. We don't have none of that. And we have more and more Jake bowing out from the political world. Like, man, fuck them white people, fuck their country, and boom. And white people are seeing these videos that y'all posting and getting even more angry. They live here and they're saying, fuck the country. They don't even want to help us. Why would we help you when you've done nothing but destroy us?
Correct.
You see how privilege is literally invisible to those that have it?
Got you.
All right, go ahead.
It's 2 Esdras 16 and 70. But there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Mm-hmm. So who are those that fear the Lord? It said it twice. Mm-hmm. Back-to-back verses.
Yep.
It's you Israelites, man.
Israelites, yep.
The apple of the Lord's eye.
Because what is fear? How do you know how do you know they fear the Lord? Because they're following the law, statutes, commandments. Mm-hmm. That's how you know.
And they stick out like a sword.
Only those who fear the Lord follow his law.
Yeah.
Because we understand his law bequeaths death. And if you want to be far from death, you're going to cling to what? His words. We understand that. So this is why that's why they doubled it, the scriptures doubled it down. So I'm just trying to give the narrative. They're trying to stop you from looking over here at World War III, what's going on with these riots, just cleaning it up. They're trying to offset the fact that Russia just flew over Poland, and basically that was an act of war, and now they're talking about a council for World War III. Uptick is all-time high. Israel just bombed Doha. You don't even hear this on the news and shit. You got to go looking for it. Why they bombed Doha? Fuck Qatar, though. We was just in Qatar last year.
Yeah,
we was just there. We was in Kuwait and Qatar. They have one of the most beautiful airports you ever seen. Like, actually, I think it was the #1 airport in the world. But this country is beautiful. I don't even understand. Like, I didn't make no motherfucking sense, right? They're still trying to destabilize the Middle East. Remember, Qatar is not part of the what? The UN, and I don't think they have a centralized bank. So that's also another domino piece that they got to topple. The Zionists got to topple to get closer to the New World Order. So they use Charlie Kirk as a blood sacrifice to set the stage for Jacob's trouble in America, riots, offsetting people looking this way, look more over here, don't look over there. So they're literally, these people are evil. They're creating wars and skirmishes all over the world to finally push everything into a fucking chaotic ball. Because remember, order out of chaos. They believe they're going to get order out of all this chaos. We're going to get all the fucking infidels and goyim to kill each other so that we can erect our new world order off the ashes and blood of the bodies of all the world's armies. But we all know that's not what the scripture says. We all know that's not what the scripture says. That's what they want, but it's not what the scripture says. So I'm bringing all this out to you, brothers and sisters, to be on your watch. Be very wary when you out here, but keep your head on a swivel. Because yes, these white people are out here looking for blood. Don't be caught don't be caught down at an all-white party in fucking boondocks somewhere.
Not right now.
Not right now. Don't be you down south at these HBCU schools and you going too far out of the state line for your college. Stay the fuck. It's lockdowns right now. These colleges are locked down because of the bomb threats on black people for Charlie Kirk dying. And yes, most black people go, oh, but why they come after us when it was white people who killed white people? It's because black people are the face of liberalism alongside gay people or LGBT, whatever you want to call it. This is the reason why.
We even got Jake mourning him.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How could y'all have a heart?
And then you got Jake out here spitting on his grave. It's inciting these white people to go, oh no, they are already doing all these crimes. There's actually riots right now and a protest of white men saying, white men fight back. White men fight back. Who are you fighting back against?
Said Watchmen.
Yeah, that's that insurrection.
Who actually is fighting you? Y'all are the ones. What you're not understanding is the chief house of your own people are literally using y'all as blood sacrifices to get their narrative because they don't believe that you're a part of them because you ain't pledged that allegiance. You ain't fighting us. You're fighting them. But guess what? Our Lord and Savior is going to come back and fight all y'all. And we already know what the end all be all is with that. All right? Go on.
Lord, but many shall wax cold, man.
Uh-huh. Go ahead, get it. Let me land back off of that.
All right.
Isaiah 63. Oh, okay, great.
I know we get up on the side.
Yeah, the brother said there's the riots and protests happening in Ecuador. Yeah, I've been on my watch, man. Hold on, let me see. I'm reading y'all comments right now. Salakia. Shalom. All right. What would cause Jacob's trouble to happen in London? What would happen? All right. So you also understand something. You got to also understand the narrative in London, right? Over in Europe, slavery wasn't there like that, right? There might be bigotry and racism, but what the problem is, a lot of the black community in London and over in Europe, they idolize black Americans. So they inherited they internalized, if you will, the image of so-called black Americans. That's why they sag their pants. Sagging their pants came from what? America. They call everybody, yo, my nigga, and all that. That comes from America. They acting like they're oppressed by the government and all those things. They weren't as oppressed as those in America, right? What's going to incite Jacob's trouble over there, because it's going to be happening in most lands, is the fact that they're going to do something over there. Mind you, there's riots already going on over in Paris and London and all that in Kuwait. But there's going to be something, mind you, y'all don't got a lot of guns over there, so there's going to be a lot of stabbings. There's going to be a lot of that over there. They actual modern swords over that motherfucker, bro. But what's going to incite it? I'm not sure. All hell's going to break loose. We already see what's going on. London is losing power, resources, because Africa is kicking them out. Africa's deleting all the contracts, the government contracts for resources and stuff. That right there could make the so-called white man out there enraged, because you got a lot of African immigrants that live in London and all those places, man, that are protesting Gaza and doing all those things. It could be many reasons that that breaks out. But right now we know that most of Jacob's trouble, if not all, is going to be in America, because America can only be destroyed from within, and then the overkill is when the Lord allows the missiles to come. All right. Let's see. Moses is so not necessarily a trickle effect of what's happening in America.
Yeah.
It can be. It could be a trickle down. Remember, it's the EU, United Nations. They're all together. Remember, Britain and America is joined at the hip. You know. All right, what you got? Go ahead.
The 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition,
Yep.
destruction."
Yep.
It says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he is as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High."
So mind you, we already know that this narrative is already being put on the world. They're already talking about the sacrifice of the red heifer, the rebuilding of Solomon's temple. They're already talking about all these things, right? They're already talking about that the Savior is already here. They already got a person pinpoint for that. But I also want you to look at a couple other things, right? Gun reform, right? Charlie Kirk was all about people having guns, right? They're going to use that for gun reform. It was something else that
That was the last thing he was talking about before he got shot.
that was the last thing he was talking about before he got shot. Yeah, we know. But remember, that's a psyop. Brothers and sisters, don't be deceived. Do not be deceived. Be on your watch. Understand that this shit is literally right in front of your faces. And because the Lord gave us that eyesight for us to be able to see, understand the Bible and the mysteries, we understand what our enemy is doing. The Lord has set up watchmen. And Lord willing, we're part of that number. So I come to you as a watchman and to give you this information. Right? To give you this information. And mind you, however you want to chop it up, you go do some more research. But I'm just going based off of seeing the evil of Esau. I'm like, these motherfuckers are sacrificing their own people to do this. You see the narrative? All of a sudden, we doing all the crimes? That's a fucking bold-faced lie. This is that. This is that. Wait, ain't war and protests going on over there? Why ain't it on national TV? Why they talking about Charlie Kirk? It's all a psyop. It's all a psyop. It's all a psyop. Go ahead.
Isaiah 62, starting at 6, "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth."
And this is what we doing. We out here being on our watch. We came out here, and Lord willing, we at camp tomorrow, which 9 times out of 10 we will be, but all through the Lord's will. Bro, we wanted to bring this out today. And I know it's a couple of brothers who are speaking on the same topic that I'm speaking on right now, because this is the hot topic right now. But I need brothers to stop looking at the sleight of hand. They make you look this way while they're doing this over here. And that's what Esau Amalek is doing, man. He's a liar, man. His spirit is not upright in him, and he can't do any good. How can he be good to you when he can't even be good to his own people?
Got that too.
Go ahead.
Scripture say to stay occupied in prophecy.
Yep.
And also to cover the prophesied. What does that mean? It means make your call and election sure by what? Doing your duty as a watchman.
Yep.
I'm gonna finish up this. Matter of fact, if you want, you can grab the Sirach. I'm gonna finish up this Sirach 14.
Yep.
And
The
then 5.
unwillingly.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah.
It's back in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 5. It says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know that it says, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. That's going into the Lord, allowing Esau
To run up his tab,
Right.
to build his narrative, to basically put all his ducks in a row. Because remember, Yahweh Shah needs his glory. So remember this. The Most High is allowing Esau to get as much riches
Get to his peak.
and get to his peak. All right, go and build up your armies, build up all your treasures.
Which is a warrior. Warrior's
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah. You know, he's letting him get to his peak, right? Heap up his treasures and riches, right? Remember, it says in the scripture, it says, he shall heap up treasures in his last days and for naught. Salakia.
It's either James 5 or Zephaniah 1 and 18. We did it too.
Yeah. It's at the bottom of Zephaniah.
It's
That's
bottom of
one of
Zephaniah.
them. That's one of them.
Heap up for the last days, or it could be James 5.
Yeah, James, how you rich man.
Right. Yeah, James 5.
Yeah, James 5:3. It says, "Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped up treasures together for the last days."
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. They're trying to acquire as much land and everything. Remember, they want their New World Order. They're trying to get all this stuff ready, right? And then this is when the Lord is going to stop them in their tracks. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's back in 2 Thessalonians 2:8. "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan," Esau,
Yep.
"with all power and signs and lying wonders."
Yep.
His
Power,
tongue.
signs, and lying wonders.
Scripture
right?
says in Psalms, right? It says, "His tongue shall fall upon his own
His
self."
own pit.
Roughly
His own-
paraphrasing.
his own pit, yeah.
His own kind.
Yeah.
Right? So like, it says, this verse 10, "And with all the deceitfulness of unrighteousness, and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie,
Yep.
that they be all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in his unrighteousness."
Yep. And this is me trying to give you the truth of what through the smoke,
God.
right? And also that could go into like they trying to fake an alien invasion with Blue Beam Project, talking about black aliens came out the sky. They look like African Americans. That could even incite the white man. Everyone black, so-called black man, you gotta kill him. Bro, you'd be surprised the shit that Esau is fucking is trying to conjure up to get rid of us, man.
Never can surprise you at this point.
Right? And the Lord gonna send them strong delusions because there's gonna be a lot of our people that are gonna get caught up in that bullshit.
Yeah.
Why? Because they believed the lie and did not what? Want to hearken unto the truth. All right? Well, what you got?
So that is evil to himself. So good.
It says attempted to reconnect.
Okay, cool.
All right, go.
He that is Sirach 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
So he who is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? Amalek, the chief house of Esau, the Zionists, right, are throwing his own people under the bus as scapegoats and basically pawns in their destruction to get to their New World Order. They don't care who they kill or who they have to step on to get there. Why would they kill one of their own that was championing them? Because he was nothing but a means to